While players rested yesterday, there was no lack of entertainment in Astana with so many coinciding events to attend. During the rest day, Timur Gureyev hosted a 14-player simul at the St. Regis Hotel. Timur played every game blindfolded, all while riding an elliptical bike. Games lasted roughly 5 hours and the final score was 13.5, 0.5 to Gureyev. He seemed in high spirits after the exhibition, making time to greet fans, take photos and sign autographs. The Kazakhstan Chess Cup started today, boasting 17 grandmasters including Hans Niemann, Setu Rahman, Denis Makhnev and more. It's an open Swiss event that will continue until the 30th of April. The World Championship trophy was on display today in the media area, giving spectators and guests a chance to pose with it and even hold it. The trophy weighs a whopping 4.5 kgs and is modeled after the Beitarek Tower in Astana. Today was Game 10 at the FIDE World Chess Championship match. The ceremonial move was made by Konsulu Zakaria, president of the National Academy of Sciences of Kazakhstan and developer of Kazakhstan's Quazvac vaccine. Ding meant business, bringing back the English opening for the second time this match. With only 5 games left, he is fighting to level the score against Jan, which before the round was 5-4. Players repeated the English 4 knights, and Ding deviated with a sharp e4. Jan played bishop c5.
So bishop c5 is actually an attempt to force a draw. So basically there are 2 moves here for black.
Like there's
Bishop c5 is basically where the bishop belongs. And the only kind of downside is that it allows knight takes c5, which normally leads to a very big number of forcing lines. Okay, g4, bishop b4.
Right, yeah, this looks familiar.
G takes c5, knight takes c4. Okay, they'll keep blissing moves. We finally have some world championship.
And queen d4?
Or queen f3.
I
think both are legal. Yeah, he
f3.
goes to g4 now.
No, he goes to f3.
f3? Okay.
Yeah.
Then black has many moves, I guess. Well, many is a bit too strong, but there is knight takes c3 and there is, I think, d5 too.
Nepo takes.
Yeah.
And I guess the bishop is going back to e7.
I think they go bishop a5 quite often too.
Interesting.
And he went to c5, which is also an option. Bishop c5. Yeah, it's probably a bit of a novelty.
Yeah, at the top level, there really doesn't seem to be much with this move.
Okay. But then it's a bit strange, like how do you even play this as white without checking bishop c5? It only makes sense if like the engine doesn't like bishop c5 at first. And
well, actually, I'll tell you, well, who was on the white side of this position once in a blitz game. It was actually Jan Nepomniachtchi.
Ding was caught by surprise.
But bishop c5 would came as a totally surprise to me. I have to figure out the idea after during the game.
After queen g3, Jan makes a very interesting looking move, king f8, after only 2 minutes of thinking. It must have still been prep. Don't try this at home, folks.
Nepo is showing his preparation in the English opening. It's definitely a very unusual looking position for someone who hasn't previously seen these kinds of positions with the king on f8, black not being castled, and black suddenly just pushed the pawn to h5.
A few moves later, Ding had the critical choice of either playing bishop e3 or to go straight into the ending with bishop takes d6.
Oh, he took it.
yeah.
Wow. I mean, I'm a little surprised. But it's okay. Maybe it's because I'm just so biased towards playing the middle game.
Yeah. No, it kind of makes sense. Like his opening didn't go his way. Bishop takes d6 is not exactly a draw offer. And well, it's 4 games to go, not 1.
Yeah.
So why not?
Actually, I had some advantages. At that point, at one point, I'm wondering if I could retreat the bishop instead of taking on d6, but I didn't know if it's possible to go back to bishop, but maybe it's not possible. Maybe it's just a very bad move. So I played the nature move, and I guess he defends quite well. So I didn't have so many chances in that game.
Ding tried to get something from the ending, but Jan defended actively.
Ding has been having an extra pawn because his pawn structure wasn't really the best in the world. Nepo is trying to take advantage of that to get a draw, and right now Nepo played this move, which looks a little bit surprising because it just gives up the pawn that he's been trying to hold on to, Daniil, but it looks like he wants to trade this pawn for the pawn on c3.
Right, and then both his rooks will be active, and in general, given the fact the number of pawns is not big, black is very, very close to a draw.
And Daniil was right. The players played it out till the Bear Kings after only 3 hours. There are only 4 games remaining. Time is ticking, and Ding is fighting to make a comeback in the match. Check out the commentary on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, and watch Daniil and Irina discuss the game live. Viewers are left on the edge of their seats, unable to predict Jan and Ding's next move. Nothing is tougher than the final rounds of a match. Anything can happen. Ask questions in the comment section of FIDE's daily Q&A post. Be there or be square.
As the world holds its breath, 2 unstoppable minds prepare for immortality. One from the land of the dragon, the other from the land of the bear. Together, they will write history. The patient and precise Ding, carefully calculating every move to gain a strategic advantage, facing the aggressive Nepomniachtchi, who is always looking to take risks and never afraid to make bold moves to pressure his opponents. Their eyes might be fixed on the board, but their minds will be focused on victory. These 2 titans of the chessboard have fought their way through the ranks, demonstrating skill, strategy, and a fierce competitive spirit. Now they will go head to head and fight for the ultimate title, the FIDE World Championship crown. Where champions come and go, chess endures.
Hi guys, and welcome to our coverage of the 11th game of the 2023 World Chess Championship. My name is Irina Krush, and I'm joined by Grandmaster Daniil Dubov. And here we are getting close to the final stages of the match, Daniil. It's game 11. Ding is still behind by 1 point. He managed to only make a draw yesterday with the white pieces. The game was probably one of the quietest of the match so far. So I'm really hoping we're going to get something more exciting today. And actually, to inspire the players, Daniil, I had this idea that maybe you can show them one of your best games. So we hope that some of that excitement is going to translate to their game today.
Yeah, but as it's your idea, well, you can show it. I will provide you with the lines when
Okay, here we go.
when you'll need them. Yeah.
All right, so this is a game that Daniil played a few years ago. It was 2019. It passed by so fast.
Yep.
So you were white against Rasmus Svane. That's a German grandmaster, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you were white, c4, e6. We got an English. Queen's Gambit declined.
I just want people to know that this was not my idea. Like, I literally found out like 2 minutes ago that.
Yeah, no, I take all the credit for it, guys. It's okay. I'm happy to take credit for all the good ideas we come up with.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so yeah, I think once we get to the interesting part of the game, you guys will see why we're doing this. So here we go. We got a Queen's Gambit, b6.
Yeah. Queen c2 is actually funny. I completely freestyled Queen c2. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, somehow, like, it's only move 6, but I remember it was a team event. And I actually looked at the boards, I realized that the match is not going our way. I think we were, like, already in trouble at board 1.
Within like 6 moves, you could tell.
Well, it's like 6 moves in my game, and I think I spent like 15 to 20 minutes for queen c2.
Okay.
I mean, also staring at the other board.
The main move here is what? Is it c takes, or is it?
Well, rook c1 is okay, like bishop anywhere is okay.
All right, so you freestyle queen c2.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. And he attacked your pawn, and then I suppose castle's queenside is not the most standard move, right?
Yeah, but this was the point. I mean, otherwise, why to freestyle queen c2? So this was my point. It's funny that actually, well, we played for the Russian national team. My friend Sasha Arzantsev was there, and when he was watching the game, he was actually pretty sure that it's some Magnus prep. As at the end of the day, like the agent, I think didn't like queen c2 at first, and then when you let it run, it actually drops to zeros, kind of. And Sasha was actually, wow, such a deep idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, no credit to Magnus' team. I just freestyle.
All right, so you gave up a pawn out of the opening, then you put your knight aggressively here, threatening your opponent with what exactly?
Like bishop e5 or something. But my point was basically to have h4 after h6.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same way, actually, as Ding played bishop g5, h6, h4, yeah? In one of the games. And then, yeah. Bishop d6, I think, is a bad move. I think knight d5 was kind of correct. But
was your opponent taking a lot of time here, just kind of confused by your play?
Kind of, but I was also taking time. I mean, it was... yeah, I think bishop d6 is a mistake. I think knight d5 was the move, but yeah, okay, g3.
Knight d5, you're saying, yeah?
Yeah.
Makes sense, okay. So you supported that bishop. Okay, where did the sacrifices start? Because I know this king eventually gets somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, here it goes.
e5. Yeah, so it would be much easier to play knight takes h7 here, which I think would kind of win immediately. But then, yeah, this game would not make it to the books, I'm afraid.
All right, you took?
Like h takes is technically okay, like they're both +5. But if you go h takes, then h takes, bishop g2 that I played is correct. But then e4, g takes e4 is suddenly +6.
So basically you should have just taken back.
Yeah, and then you just want to play f5, and I mean, this is way less obvious than the lines with knight takes h7.
So you're basically down a whole piece in this position. You don't even have a pawn for it.
Yeah, and then after knight a5, you just go f5 or something, and then it's just
you
like...
ignore the rook.
Yeah, you just go a5, and you say there's no counterplay. I mean, again, when I know the answer, it kind of looks obvious.
Yeah.
But over the board, it felt so tempting to take the knight. Why not to take the knight, actually?
All right, he took your bishop, you took his knight.
Yeah. fg3. Yeah, king v1 is a good move.
Yeah, also not the most obvious.
Yeah, but it's like white basically wants to take on g3 or play f4, so you don't want queen takes c3 to be a check there.
Yeah.
Yeah, f4, bishop c8 I think is okay. Rook d2 e1. I mean, again, we clearly skip a lot of key moments as a...
we're not doing a deep analysis here, guys. We're doing this for inspiration.
Yeah.
Actually, I watched in one of your interviews, you said that to play chess well, you need some inspiration. Do you still agree with that statement?
Yeah.
There we go. So that's what we're doing here. I mean, I just think, like, after yesterday's very, very quiet game, I really want something more exciting to happen today.
Okay.
All right, so we have knight takes d5.
Yeah, so takes is correct.
Okay, you went in for a trade, I see.
Yeah.
Give a check.
Yeah, now bishop takes d5 runs into some, I think, bishop f5, e4, bishop takes f4. Anyway, I took on f7, which is correct. Takes, queen takes g6 is correct. King f8, now I don't want to blunder bishop f5 check, so queen h6 I need to insert, bishop takes d5.
Okay, so right now you're down a rook.
Yeah, so here I guess bishop f5 check followed by king e8 was for some reason okay. And king e8 that he played is, I think, not great.
Yeah, you're threatening a few different things, but I guess the checkmate is the big one.
Yeah, basically the king has to run. It's just that I think he had to start with bishop f5 check, as then in some lines the king will actually run to c8.
So what was your feeling like around this point in the game? I mean, were you happy with how the game was going? Were your teammates looking at you?
Well, I think I was like down to 3 minutes here, so I basically didn't have quite a lot of time to you know, reflect, kind of. But it's funny that after king e8, which he played, I repeated once, and I mean I wasn't sure clearly over the board. You cannot calculate this bishop e6 check, and then I went to check what's going on in the rest of the games, and I realized we're actually going to lose the match if I don't win. So then it was safe to gamble. It was almost a relief, actually. I wanted to gamble so much, but you know, when I found out that I have to, it was even easier.
Okay, so you've given up this bishop, and I guess there's a little. What's the fastest checkmate? Is it starting from here?
Yeah, I think it's queen c6, bishop c5, rook c1.
Yeah, let's just show this one.
Yeah.
Bishop c5, rook
yeah, I
c1.
think it's rook c1, rook c3, queen g2, and rook c1. This is how people do it on bullet.
Wow.
Kind of.
This definitely looks like some very old games.
Yeah.
Where you checkmate the king on the first rank.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, as a game, it was also decent, I think.
All right, so here we go.
Yeah.
Giving up more stuff.
Yeah, so he played king a5, queen d5, bishop c5. Yeah, I remember that the way I played is good. I think there was some alternative, but like I'm pretty sure my way was good, and it is also pretty. So now
this is a kind of an unusual move, right? Did this one take you a while to see, or was it kind of obvious?
I don't know. No, I mean, like again, I was down to like a few minutes.
Because these moves backwards are sometimes hard to see.
Yeah, but you want to play queen c2 check. It's kind of easy to explain. No, as far as I remember, I somehow just felt it, you know, it's like a study. You need the square one before to be occupied, and then you go queen c6, king takes c3. Yeah, now this bishop b3 is cool. Bishop b3 is winning, but it's cool that it's also the only move not to lose. So like it's either you go bishop b3 and checkmate, or you're actually lost as white as far as.
Well, that's very pretty.
Yeah.
So you're threatening this, and if they take, you get the checkmate on a2.
Yeah. And yeah, he allowed me to.
Oh, and also you're threatening queen c1.
Yeah, which is exactly how.
Point, yeah, because if he goes bishop d7, what
this is exactly how the game finished, I think.
There you go.
Yeah. And he allowed me the checkmate, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah, I think that's a sign of good sportsmanship. I think you can't like resign before you get checkmated in a game like this.
I mean, you can do whatever you want. Let's say Anish would normally always resign like
3 moves earlier.
No, I mean he when he plays me, he normally, I mean, when he's lost, he resigns with like 2 moves to go or 1 move to go. I mean, okay, sure, but it depends. I don't think there is like necessarily the only way of dealing this in terms of ethics. Yeah, the game was nice. The funniest part is that I remember my friend Sasha Ryazantsev, he literally like took me. I was so excited and stuff, and I was about to sort of, you know, fall down or I don't know, like scream or something, and we got out of the playing hall, and the first thing I said is that I need a free day tomorrow. This was funny. Okay.
That was the first thing you said to him.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I gave it all. I mean, there is no way I'm playing tomorrow.
So you said like these kinds of games, they make you happier than, for example, winning the World Rapid Championship.
Yeah, of course. No, I mean, this game I will remember for, you know, for my whole life, I guess.
Are you happy playing it, like along the way, the whole process, or finally when you get to the end, it's like next level happiness? Or
well, it's like both, but yeah, playing this kind of games normally takes you. I mean, during the process, it's like having some weird trip, you know. With this king running, you're not sure what's going on, and you know. Then.
At which point, actually, did you kind of figure out what's going on? Like you were chasing this king down.
I really wanted to believe, and I think that's what my intuition was saying. That basically after king c6,
when you saw this move, maybe
it has to be winning. No, I mean I saw the move. I saw the move from far away, but I mean after king a5, you cannot calculate. white is rook down at the end of the day. I mean, it's not that, you know, simple. But yeah, I mean, I really wanted to believe it works, and I think I had a very strong feeling that it works actually, but you know, okay. Given the odds, I had to gamble anyway, as I mean, otherwise we could just lose the match. And there is no difference between losing 2.5, 1.5, and 3-1.
So basically, if you give the check here, it doesn't quite work?
Yeah, king a5, and yeah, somehow, yeah, queen takes.
The queen is taking, yeah.
Also, in many lines, he will just play b5 and king b6 and run back. But let's actually look at some decent chess instead. No,
all right, we got Ding and Jan at the board.
Yeah.
So the game kind of finished right on time. Let's talk about what we're expecting today. So Jan is white. It's game 11. I was taking a look at this Kramnik-Liko match just to see, because it was following a similar trajectory. And in game 11, Kramnik was black, right? He was a point behind, and he actually made a pretty, well, quick draw with black. And he didn't try to win with the black pieces until game 13.
Right.
When he played the Benoni. So, you know, game 11, he still seemed like okay with a draw as black.
Yeah. Then again, it was a completely different time. Basically, you could, as white, you could basically get a very good / even winning position out of the opening quite often. And now it only happens if the guy fails to recall the lines, kind of, right? It just was not. It's funny that they made so many draws, Kramnik and Liko, but at the same time, chess was not even close to being that drawish game back then. And no one would be surprised with like 5 decisive games in the World Championship match. Maybe, I mean, like especially without Leko involved, right?
So are we expecting 1e4 today? It seems to be the move that he settled on.
Yeah, probably. I'm more interested in Ding's concept, so basically if they decide to gamble or not. My guess would be not, but you know.
Still not, because he still got those 2 whites.
Yeah, kind of. Also, I'm not sure, but I have a feeling there is actually a free day tomorrow.
The World
Okay,
Chess
guys, we have Katie on the
Championship
stage.
match. Round
She's gonna be
11 is about to start. The current score is 5.5 to 4.5 in favor of Jan Nepomniachtchi. Today, we have an honorary guest who will make the first move, Mr. Kanat Sharlapayev, the chairman of the board of Bitarek National Managing Holding. Please. Thank you very much. Few seconds before the start of the round, now it's time to call on the stage the chief arbiter.
That he's chosen the most frequently in this match. Is this okay? E5. So no big surprises so far.
Yeah.
We saw Berlin last time that Ding had black.
We'll probably see it again.
Yeah, you think he'll give it another try? He did have a very comfortable position in the opening, and it seemed like he had a lot of ideas in the Berlin. So.
Well, very comfortable is a bit too strong, but yeah, he kind of equalized for 2 moves, and then he plays this rook b8, right?
Yeah.
A6
all right,
this
back
time.
to a6, okay.
Bishop a4, knight f6, okay. It's impressive, like how strong his belief is in this line. He has literally, like, out of the, let's say, 4 or 5 games that he lost against Jan in his whole life, pretty much I think all of them were in this line, or close to all of them. But he does it again. Okay.
Yeah. So Jan, so far in this position, he chose d3.
Well, he also tried bishop
Bishop
takes
c6
c6
in
and
the
rook
first
e1,
one.
right?
Did he ever play rook e1 in this match?
I would guess so.
Really? It's funny because I can't remember
Maybe not.
any games. I thought that he was always going d3, but
Maybe not. Yeah, and he plays d3 this time too.
okay.
But d3 is actually a good sign for us. So basically, he was given a chance to play the marshal and forced to draw. Goes d3 instead, which kind of means playing a game. Of course, it's very solid for white, but in general, it's
now b5, right?
yeah. So b5.
Because white's actually already threatening to take the knight and the pawn.
Yeah, bishop b3, d6 again, I guess. Yeah, d6. This whole thing we've seen many times. a3 this time, no? a3, yeah. Okay.
Yes. So here Jan has chosen a lot of different moves he's played. Like, well, he's played c3 in their last game. And also there was a game in the Lichess files what actually went with the move a3.
Yeah.
So that's in Ding's own practice games. This was played. And this is what Jan chooses, yeah?
Yeah, well, a3 is one of the main moves. I think people overestimate the Lichess factor. I mean, there are many decent openings. You cannot just avoid playing a3 because, I mean, the guys played 1 training game there or 2 training games. Okay, what can you do? Sure, I mean, you probably did play some training games too, right? I mean, it's...
So basically, at some point, you just got to stop the move knight a5. That's why we're going with these like various pawn moves.
Yeah, there is even this weird bishop d2 here.
Oh, wow.
With exactly the same idea.
So all of these moves are like prophylactic moves. So what is the advantage of a3 compared to c3? I mean, a3 makes it less likely that you're going to be playing a4, right?
Yeah, but it's a completely different plan, basically. White is going to play knight c3 and then knight d5 in many lines. This is, in fact, actually the line they played in Yekaterinburg, where Jan won quite a nice game, I guess. And yeah, Ding is now choosing. h3 is not exactly killing, but well, black has this popular line nowadays that is, how does it go? I think castles, knight c3, knight a5, bishop a2, bishop e6, b4, and then people somehow tried learning it by heart, like takes. I guess they normally take some knight c6, some bishop g5, knight d4, some long lines where white has this little pressure, but it must disappear.
Yeah, actually, so that is their game from the 2020 candidates.
Yeah.
Right, so it's like a3 castles, exactly what you're looking. Knight c3, knight a5, bishop a2, and bishop e6.
Yeah, they used to play.
b4.
They used to play knight takes a2 here as well, followed by c4. This was also normal. I think knight d4 or something.
Yeah, Jan took with the rook in that game.
Yeah, knight c6, bishop g5.
G5, yeah. And that's that game he won.
Then I guess even knight d7, bishop e3, knight f6 kind of exists. But yeah, normally I guess they play knight d4.
And Jan has played this position as white a lot. Like besides just that game, there have been a lot of games afterwards, including against Carlsen, like online games.
Yeah, but Ding played knight a5 instead of castling.
Instead of castle.
Which is also normal. It's considered to be a sharper option, I guess, after bishop a2, c5, knight c3, bishop e6. Black is okay, but white has many options. Knight h4 is one of them, actually. I think Fabio was the first player to come up with it. Then I guess people even started, it kind of looks weird, but people even started trying knight h4 here for some reason. But the normal line, I guess, is knight c3, bishop e6, and here you basically do something like knight d5 exists, but normally knight h4. And then in many lines, white plays knight f5, black takes on e5. and we get this strange position.
So Jan
Yeah, bishop a2
pulls the
played,
bishop
of
back.
course. Right. c5 played. Okay.
So I don't see that many games in this position so far with this like knight a5 move so early. Okay, here they were getting more. Yeah.
Yeah.
More recently.
Yeah. Let your Nokia,
Yeah.
run
I see
and,
Adams and Svidler, and actually Ding has played this as well.
As black.
Yeah, it's black.
Yeah, of course.
in
No,
the
I mean
FIDE World
it used
Cup.
to be. It just used to be the main line. This knight a5, c5, knight c3, bishop e6, which we have on the board actually, used to be the very, very main line. And Jan plays bishop g5 here. Okay. This exists too. He is again doing it the same way, right? He's going to take, play knight d5, and then again we have
same plan.
Yeah. But as far as I remember, like black's idea was probably to play c4 here. I suspect strongly. I guess like the whole concept of this early c5 was, I think, to play c4. And then this bishop is kind of blocked. And there are some weird positions where white plays d4, and black plays, I don't know, something like maybe queen c7. And then in some of the lines, white plays them in d5, then he tries bishop b1, knight 2, knight g3, c3 or something. And those are sharp. I think I looked at it quite a while, if I'm not mixing up the lines, and I don't think I had like a real conclusion. As black, I thought you normally don't need this when you're fine with the draw. As white, I thought you normally don't get this, and also maybe you're not better. So.
Yeah, it looks like the two most popular moves here are castles. Okay, castle c4 or knight c6. So they're quite different, right? I mean, c4 is like a completely different story from just castling. Let's see.
Yeah, but if you castle, then I mean, you lose this bishop takes f6 again, yeah, and then we're getting this game 5.
Well, let's see if Ding is going to want to change the structure of the position.
Yeah. Well, given the way he started the game, it makes sense to play c4. Like you normally play knight a5, c5 to kind of play for a win a little. So, I mean, if you castle, then it does not make a lot of sense to me. I would say c4 is more likely.
So c4, you're saying white goes d4.
Yeah. And
how does this bishop get out of here eventually?
Well, b1.
Through c3?
Yeah. Normally you play, at some point you play knight a2, you play c3, you play bishop b1, bishop c2.
You know what move makes kind of sense here to me? Maybe knight d7.
Great move.
I don't know. I protect the pawn, and I'm still not getting my bishop trap. But he goes for the more conservative castles. Like I kind of thought that this was unlikely that we were going to see this.
But then it's strange. Okay.
So he's going for castles.
I don't get the way.
Oh wait, I know one player who played c4.
Okay.
You didn't mention this one, but actually Ding himself did a c4 once, and Mr. Daniil Dubov also played this move against Kabalia.
Yeah, it's
2018.
Yeah, but it's not a surprise. I mean, it used to be the very, very main line.
All right, so instead of that, he goes for this.
I actually lost, yeah? Yeah, I think we played this last round of the European Championship where I had to win. And he basically also had to win, but he just decided to kind of like always go for a repetition. At some point I had to deviate and lost. So takes, and knight d5. Okay, there we go.
So this is so similar to their game from earlier in the match, right?
Yeah.
That was, let me see which game that was. It's is it like game 5 or?
Yeah, I think it was.
Game 5,
yeah, I think it was game 5. Yeah. And knight d5. Okay. Hello, Ding. Same story again.
Yeah, we're gonna see his plans for this bishop now.
Yeah.
But
it would be literally insane to lose like all the games against one guy with exactly this knight on d5.
But now he goes g6. He goes for that plan that we had talked about back in that game.
Okay, but it's a different position, no? I kind of still like g6, but the position is a bit different. Okay.
Okay, well, I mean, Black's position looks really solid. He's got the bishop pair. These two pieces are kind of fighting over this square for now. So tell me what are White's ideas in this position going to be?
Well, you have many plans, but as white, I normally like playing something like knight h3, maybe. Just asking what's
Just go back.
what's the plan there. You can also play something like b4 followed by c3, and then you start doing something the queen side. No, it's not necessarily bad. I mean, I'm not saying white is better. I'm just saying it's a bit weird to like always play the same kind of structure and always lose.
Yeah, do you think that
given-
Nepo is just going for these kinds of positions because he feels that Ding doesn't feel these structures so well?
Yeah, of course, it makes a lot of sense.
That's what it
I
is,
mean,
right?
yeah.
That's why the games look so similar, and he's kind of
Yeah.
going for the same strategic idea.
Yeah. I mean, also given how drawish chess is in general nowadays, I mean, it's just a gift. Like every single time, the guy is ready to play this playable position that he's not necessarily good at. Then, I mean, compared to some Berlin, it's just an unbelievable gift.
Yeah, that's interesting because it doesn't feel like he's fighting for some big theoretical advantage out of the opening in these lines as
Yeah.
white. But somehow, well, we see Ding struggled in it before. Let's see if he's kind of going to improve on his play in this structure now. Okay, so right now the knight is hanging. We're threatening the bishop
Yeah.
and then the knight. So I guess knight c6 is the most obvious move.
Well,
Or
he could play
move the
bishop g7, right?
Yeah,
But
that's another one.
yeah, bishop g7 is a bit strange. It also allows knight g5, which I mean, I don't know if we want to allow.
I mean, the knight has
probably
no real
could.
reason to be here anymore, right? His job is done.
I would guess so, yeah.
Whatever that job was, like attacking the bishop and letting this pawn go here.
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, knight c6 would be the first move that comes to my mind.
No, but honestly, how does this work exactly? I honestly don't get this. So you start the match playing a6, knight f6. You end up like being worse and outplayed every single game. Then you play Berlin once. You get a very comfortable position. The next thing you do, you go a6, knight f6 again.
Well, maybe he feels like he has improved his understanding here and he can just like handle it.
Okay.
It doesn't look like a very dangerous position for black. So like, all right, go ahead, show me where you're going to get your play.
No, I'm not saying it's much for the moment.
Yeah, because
I mean, I can play any reasonable move. I can play, I don't know, c3. I can play knight e3.
okay, choose one.
Let's say knight e3.
Okay.
I guess as white in general, I like the scenario where you allow bishop takes c6, and then after fe, I'll try some c3 before a4, or g3, h4, king g2.
So should I be like smart now and move this bishop away?
Well, I mean, being smart doesn't hurt normally.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess c3 or something.
Because I know it was such a big theme for us when we analyzed game 5, like the
Yeah.
trades of these bishops, and I remember that declining the trade could be a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I suspect strongly that knight e3 is not the point, though. Like here, I mean, it's not that I give up as white. I'm just saying. I mean, it's a bit strange to play queen d2, playing knight e3. So queen d2 normally will have some different idea. It could be that he just wants to take it, actually. I mean, if
Take
you're
here?
I mean, if you're kind of okay with the draw, you can
Oh,
just
wow.
take. You can take on a6.
That would be kind of a surprising way to play for white.
But it's not that stupid. So let's say I take on a6. Now, after fe, I just, play. I go, I don't know, c3, and I say, if anyone's better, it's white. And after queen takes, I can try some knight g5 followed by f4. Yeah. I mean, again, it's not killing at all. You can play f6 and stuff. We just play. But, I mean, given the fact Jan is 1+1, it's not such a bad scenario. Okay, you double on f-file, you play. I mean, it's kind of easy. It's quite unlikely that this game will, become too sharp. Like you normally double on f5, black will somehow, you know.
I can't like get this move in so easily, yeah? F5.
Yeah, but even if you get it one day, you can rook a to e1. I mean, I'm not going to lose this as white, right? And
no, I think it's well, okay. I mean, like the cow. Maybe trade knights or something.
yeah, but then again, like let's say I go rook f2 simply.
But am I really going to be suffering in these positions?
No, suffering is a bit too strong. Okay, rook takes. I go rook f1. I go queen f2. No, it's very much based on the fact that Jan is 1+1. But given that, it makes sense. Maybe f5 can be a threat, for instance, for white in some of the positions. I think in general it's a little bit weird, kind of. I normally try to avoid that, to place the line that is kind of solid, but you prefer it over even more solid line to kind of play for a win in a very, very healthy position. But in general, I mean, this knight a5, c5, it's not that you're exactly playing for a win, right? I would say it's kind of better to have a more kind of polar range. It's either you play, I mean, in this situation, let's say it's either you play the Najdorf, and there we go, and if you lose, but you're trying to win, clearly. Or you just play the Berlin and you say, you know, I'm okay with the draw. And here exactly it's a bit weird, like you get this very solid, maybe very slightly worse position, where, I mean, you keep many pieces on the board, but you don't really have too many scenarios where you win.
Okay, well, what do you think about bishop g7? Why don't I just not let you trade pieces? Maybe that is a better idea.
Okay, so let's say,
g5,
yeah, knight g5.
And a bishop d7, but you're going to go well, I don't know what you're going to do. Maybe f4, but...
Well, f4 is something you...
Yeah, let's just see.
You consider at least, right?
I know I've left my knight here a little long.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say I go f4.
Okay. So the first thing that comes to mind is h6. All right. We got some quotes from Vishy. It probably reflects my bias, but I really like White's position. It seems to me to be easy to play. And Nepo sticks to his Rai Lopez, which is also his main line against Magnus. Ding's main opening, one he is more at home with than any other. Okay.
Yeah. No, I kind of agree with Vishy. Yeah, I mean, again, it's so easy to play for White.
All right, h6.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're asking for some knight takes f7, but even if I don't have it, I'm not sure I don't have it actually. Okay, so let me take then. Okay, now I have a billion of moves, right? It's kind of reasonable to start with checking f takes c5. Your knight is still on a5, right?
Yeah, it's a little risky, but okay.
Yeah.
So if I like get out of this check.
Yeah, rook takes.
Now what's your big threat? Well, so maybe my rook in the corner?
Well, I have checks.
Yeah, so I have to move my king.
King h8 maybe, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to evaluate that actually. It's like I have moves, it's not that I resign, but yeah, it's hard to tell. Rook f7 is there, he takes d6 is reasonable. Knight f6 is reasonable. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, like I want to play rook f7, but I need some idea after knight c6, for instance.
You want like rook f7 and knight f6, yeah?
Yeah.
That's like your...
This is my idea. Okay, so let's go rook f7 then. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Cool. Now that you told me what the idea is.
Yeah, I know you like those checkmates, right?
Yeah, but I didn't see it here exactly. So.
All right, so you want to go knight f6 next. What am I going to do?
Something like bishop is6, I guess. Then I have rook f6. I don't know. It's a strange position. I guess I actually go rook f6.
Yeah, it's a little hard to make moves quickly here in this complicated position.
Yeah, but somehow with a knight on a5, you would always feel it's well deserved if black loses. I mean,
yeah, no, I see that. I see that. In a way, he kind of like wouldn't mind that move, but it does cost him a tempo.
Played something. It's bishop.
Yeah, he actually
g7.
played bishop g7. Okay.
Yeah.
So he just
well, one thing I can say is that after bishop g7, knight g5, I guess just in terms of ideas, playing something like knight c6, takes, is normal. I actually kind of like playing
because then you're gonna
playing this way as black.
Because then it's very hard for white to ever get this move in without improving this bishop.
Yeah. So basically, knight, I don't know, e3. We play queen d7, and we just play. I mean, the bishop can go to h6 and some of the lines.
Yeah, you move your king.
We won't have a lot of a lot of play. Normally, white will play c3. He will play g3, king g2, h4. But at the same time, we'll double on f5. We'll play, I don't know, h5, bishop h6. And in many lines, when white is not careful enough, he will run into some d6, d5 eventually, which sometimes changes the way things are going dramatically.
You know, Jan is again in his like remembering pose.
Yeah.
It's very easy to look at his face and be like, oh, he's recalling lines that he knows.
Yeah, also at the same time, he wants you to believe that he is recalling, but he knows exactly nothing. This kind of scenario I've faced quite a lot of times too.
All right, so yeah, the only problematic move is knight g5, right? I mean, there's nothing else that white can really do.
Well, I mean, after knight c6, we were not sure that like white has to take on f6, right? So given that, you can basically play, you know, any reasonable move like c3.
Okay.
Nothing changes really. Like I don't see black playing this with knight on a5 for too long.
Yeah, knight c6.
Yeah. And then you can, I don't know, play the way you were going to play.
Do you ever want to play b4 or?
Yeah, I think b4 is kind of normal.
No. Okay, wait, we get a move from Jan, knight g5.
Okay, makes sense. The question with knight g5, knight c6, though, I mean, first of all, allowing knight takes c6 it takes a bit of masochism, probably. Secondly, after knight c6, actually f4 exists too, which is, I suspect, is a bigger problem. And we cannot really take, as then we run into
lose
this.
the e6
yeah,
pawn.
exactly. And probably something else, to be honest, later on. So, yeah, we have to do something else.
Well, you're threatening f5, which is a pretty big threat here.
Yeah, I would say we have to pay respect to threats of this. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, wow. So that looks a bit problematic. Okay, let's figure out how we're going to meet that as Ding.
Yeah. It could be that Ding is in trouble again, actually. This would be very funny. Like every single game you play in this line, you do something wrong, right? And then you like fail to realize it's probably wise to switch the opening. I don't know. Kind of strange.
Yeah, so okay, the main idea is this one. How are we guarding against that? I mean, if we can't
it
take...
shouldn't be this bad, right? Maybe bishop, I don't know, h6. But it starts to feel really...
Yeah, I just feel like when you have to make moves like that, it's not very comforting, but...
Yeah, exactly. Some h4 maybe or something, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe support.
Yeah.
Still renew the threat.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly a very interesting position for white. And it's like either very sharp or just bad for black. I mean, one of the two.
Okay, so is there anything else black can do to maybe stop this idea before going knight c6? So we already looked at bishop d7.
Well, you can play the most stupid way, right? You can just play h6. Like
yeah.
if you're panicking this much, you can just play h6. But
let's try this again.
Yeah.
Let's try this.
This was kind of.
Okay, I mean, at least we got out of this tempo.
Yeah.
And basically on h6 you were sacking. I mean, do I have to let that happen? The problem is, like, I'm playing without this knight, right? Basically defending my king side without that piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit annoying. I mean, if I take, I don't even want to know, like, right, like queen f4
what?
or.
It could be that he's actually planning c4 in some of the lines, like let's say here.
Right here, c4.
Yeah, then your knight on a5 at least makes sense. And then f5 is probably not the end of the world. You will have some bishop h6, for instance.
Oh, okay, like bishop d7 and then c4.
Yeah. It still looks very
That's interesting, at least.
suspicious, but yeah, maybe. I mean, if you are obsessed with, you know, getting some sharp position where you're probably like lost, but it takes white, you know, something to win it, then maybe that's what you want, but I don't know. In general, it looks strange.
Sometimes, I don't know, there's some ideas against that pawn, maybe.
Yeah, but queen b4 is quite a relief. Yeah, I mean, okay, like as black, we got to the to the point where
you can take here and this or something.
No, I mean also we're mostly worried about being checkmated. Queen b4 is, I mean, okay.
All right, so go ahead, try to attack as white. f5.
Yeah, I don't know. You can also take on c4. This is something I'm not certain about. So yeah, let's say knight takes, yeah. And then f5, bishop h6 kind of works. I mean, unless it doesn't, but I don't see why not.
Because you're playing f6 next.
Yeah. Well, it's still a mess, right? I can play, let's say, h4, f6, f takes g6. Now I guess hg runs into knight takes f6, and I'll have queen d5 check in the end.
That's a nice tactic.
Yeah. So, I mean, you probably had to take on g5.
So I'm gonna take.
Yeah, where I take on f8, and you know, I mean, again, God knows what this is. It kind of looks good for black, I would say, but I'm not so sure actually. I mean, things will keep coming, kind of rook f1. But yeah, here I think black is like a favorite to survive the attack.
Yeah, maybe bishop g7 or.
Yeah, but it's still very annoying though. Like bishop g7, knight e7 check is there. I mean, many things are there. But yeah, I agree that most probably this one exactly is okay for black.
Maybe I should just take.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I don't know. You can try this, like knight f6, queen d5.
Yeah, I can also try knight f6, queen takes g5.
Yeah, it looks pretty dangerous. Okay.
I would say pretty dangerous, but not lost. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to. Yeah, queen takes g5. I guess queen takes g5 at least.
So one second. Tell me again why this is not a move.
No, I think it's decent too. So bishop e7, maybe bishop e7, yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of interested.
Yeah.
But like, I finally get my piece back.
Yeah, but then gh4, and I mean, again, who knows?
Wait, I feel like I'm getting a little closer here.
You are. And also
do you feel like you want to resign soon?
No.
Okay. All right, so queen here.
Okay, go to
wait,
h6.
wait. I really want to get this right. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
King h6.
But you got overexcited, no? After showing this game against Swana, you somehow.
That's the point.
Okay.
I got myself inspired.
Okay.
All right.
No, I honestly, I mean, I'm not sure it's necessarily bad for black. It could be.
Yeah, okay,
it could be that he's okay. But in general, I mean, we got a bit too far from the...
I mean, basically you have, like after this, you're going to take and what, play queen g8 or something?
Yeah, maybe. I don't think I'm forced to take either, but...
Maybe here as well.
Yeah, this allows rook takes g6.
Oh,
so
queen,
yeah,
queen
queen
g8.
But also you didn't have a threat, right?
When I played knight f6?
Yeah. I mean, I know how this sounds, but actually the king on g5 is not that easy to...
Really? Oh yeah.
So I probably even can even consider...
I feel like it's yeah, hard to say that this is not a threat.
Yeah.
There, like rook f5, you're going to take on g4, queen g6.
Yeah, this will
bishop
somehow
g5.
work.
I mean, yeah.
This was, yeah. Okay, so then I take and go
Yeah.
queen g8.
All right, so basically black somehow survives.
Mm-hmm.
And you do have a number, you have like one extra pawn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the line did not look
Super,
forced.
yeah.
Let's actually
convincing.
have a look at Wish's tweets. I think we are offered.
You think we're offered one? I think we read all of his tweets already. Are there new ones?
No, I think there is a new one. Or maybe not, but we'll find out quite soon.
Okay, if our producer shares
Yeah.
it with us.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are after knight g5. Let's backtrack a little bit. So what we've been trying to do is to keep this bishop for black. So we've been looking at this move. It does cost black, a tempo to retreat the bishop. Meanwhile, this knight stays here. I have to say that I kind of liked your attempts with c4. I mean, just because neutralizing this bishop is logical, and there's a lot of power coming from that bishop. So c4.
But at the
did
same
make
time,
sense.
if it's bad, it's really bad.
Because it also exposes, I don't know, the d file and.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying, right? I mean, you're trying to play some sharp position as black in order to kind of get some miraculous winning chances. But, like, do you really feel worried here as white?
No, I don't feel worried as white right now.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's why, I mean, I don't get this whole concept of playing this, like, white through Lopez for a win as black. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Vichy says, if black plays bishop d7, then 16 f4 looks dangerous, so bringing the knight back to c6 is the best. All right, so.
Makes sense.
Vichy likes this knight withdrawal.
Yeah, but what's his point after f4?
Yeah, that's what we need to figure out.
Would you tweet us back, Vichy?
How about bishop h6? Is there any point to that?
Well, could be, yeah, but yeah, probably. But we're really playing with fire here. Maybe it works though.
All right, let's try it.
Yeah. It kind of looks scary for black, but I don't really see the.
So we have to support the knight, right?
Yeah,
so
I mean h4. Like h4 is the most natural move, but if white has to play h4, then maybe we're okay. I don't know. Although, again.
Can we then play bishop d7? Does it make these sacks less dangerous, or? Because basically we were doing. How did we make that sack work? It was more like here, right? It was like you played bishop d7 and then we just sacked, or no?
No, I think you tried bishop d7 instead of knight c6. And then we had f4,
and
h6.
H6.
So I was kind of a temp up.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to say that after knight takes f7, rook takes f7, I mean, as we got back to this position, black actually had many moves. Like, we tried f takes e5, but actually, I mean, there is knight e3 there. There is f5 maybe even. It just looks scary in general.
Like right here?
No,
after takes.
No, after taking, yeah.
Like right here, f5.
Yeah, why not? Could be. And secondly, after h6, I mean, even if this doesn't work for some reason, I have knight h3 too.
You don't mind me taking, yeah?
Well, it's not that I don't mind, but it kind of makes sense, right? I mean, if I will get my f5, then I won't really care. And I mean, I suspect you play e takes f4 without taking on h3. And then you play something like king h7 and you say, okay, now I'm solid. Which is probably the case. I don't know. Could be.
All right, well, okay, see what Ding, he's going for c4.
Okay.
Right away, without even
No, but wait, this is just...
moving the bishop back. He just goes for c4 immediately.
Yep. Yeah, but this has to be insane, no? No, but it has to be like completely insane.
Why?
Normally.
Why? I mean, why? Like, we looked at it after f4, bishop d7.
Yeah, but here it's just, I mean, it looks very bad positionally, no?
Because you think they can just switch to, like, well, okay, let's make some moves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me...
So you're gonna take.
Let me just get back from my, like, initial shock.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's okay. Yeah, maybe it's not this bad, which I'm still not completely sure about. So let's say, okay, the quiet way is to take on e6, f takes e6, play knight e3. Yeah.
Here I was thinking like maybe d5. Can we make that work, or is this knight gonna hang?
Yeah, exactly. I think I can take twice.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? When I try to support the pawn, you just take, and you take.
Yeah.
And that knight is getting in the way. So then I just lose. Like if I take,
yeah,
that's pretty bad. Okay, and so you're attacking this pawn.
Yeah.
I can't even move it, right? I can't even
Yeah.
take it because this is hanging. So basically, in order to survive this position, I have to like hold that pawn.
Yeah, his point has to be, well, not has to be, but I suspect his point is bishop h6 or queen c7, yeah, something like that.
Okay.
But then just, let's say I take on c4, just in terms of positional stuff, it has to be unpleasant.
Knight takes, or?
I guess bishop takes, but
takes.
like I'm not 100% sure, but I guess this.
Well, I
And
don't know,
then-
this could
and-
be maybe not so bad for black. If I can hold my pawns, it doesn't seem that bad.
Yeah, but it could also be really bad, I guess.
Well,
I mean, I just go, let's say, if I go queen c3, I just double on d file.
hold on.
Yeah.
All right, so let's defend the pawn first.
Yeah, rook, let's say a to d1.
Okay. So this bishop can be kind of used in an interesting way, maybe even on f8. Because I don't know if I should be going for this trade, maybe, or maybe just kind of using the bishop in a slightly passive way.
Yeah, but long term you are in trouble either way, actually.
I'm not, hold on, I haven't agreed to that one yet.
Okay.
Let's
I'm kind of agreeing to myself mostly. I'm just, you know.
Let's try.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see if I can push this pawn.
Yeah, rook d2.
Yeah, so I'm not quite in time, but hold on. So if I go queen c6,
Rook
you're
f to
still
d1.
going to d1, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my attack there doesn't really matter because that pawn is more important on d6.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to get that move in, and I don't quite get it in. So then I have to, no, I kind of agree that if I have to put my bishop there, like this.
I'm not sure, maybe.
You have other ways you want to?
Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's just worse. Like normally with the pawn, with this kind of a pawn on c4, it's normally problematic.
The thing is, though, your queen can't move, right?
Yeah,
Your queen.
that is true. I probably had to somehow reshuffle my pieces at some point.
I bet it's
Like
interesting.
if I go f3, then maybe you go with, I mean, at some
Maybe I
point.
should even have had my rook somewhere different, like not here, but maybe like b7.
Yeah.
You know, like if I have to basically accept that my bishop's going to be guarding this pawn. So let me see. So you played rook a d1. And also I could have even done, I guess, rook fc8. I wonder if it leaves my king side too weaken at some point. Maybe you can start doing stuff there.
But let's actually go back instead. Let's
Sure.
actually go back to c4. So okay, this position kind of exists. So also queen c7 was not the only move here.
Yeah.
Like bishop h6 exists too. Okay. Looks really strange to me. Okay, so if I'm looking for a safe approach, I can actually do this whole thing again, and then, so let's say, yeah, take, go knight e3, like in some order we get the same position, let's say queen c7, dc4, dc4 is not forced either, by the way, but let's say I go dc4, takes, I go bishop takes, takes, and then I go b3. This is like a quiet way of playing this, which I would be quite happy about too, as white. It should not be much, but it's just comfortable, and it could become really unpleasant.
Yeah, if I push, that's probably a very stupid move. The pawn might be very weak there, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
Hold on, let's try. If I play bishop h6, maybe it's time to trade that knight. Because I don't really want to let you like get your knight to c4.
Yeah.
Right, so
But after bishop h6, like even if you trade, that's what I'm saying, you're just slightly worse.
Yeah,
I think
I agree.
I think in general you'll have to do that. Let's say queen c3, you'll take on e3, right? Queen takes, and I mean you'll somehow play. Maybe at some point you take on b3, you go a5.
So basically, black structure is just kind of worse here in this heavy piece endgame, and it's hard to make up for the weakness of the king and these like sort of weaker pawns.
Exactly, yeah. And white is just free running, I guess.
Yeah, you're always going to be like kind of defending here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one way white can play. Let's see if there's other approaches as well.
It's just strange like how quickly you switch to defending this kind of position from like so-called playing for a win, right?
When were we playing for a win?
I mean, we go knight a5, c5, saying we basically wanted to be sharp, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Then,
but then he castled, and then we kind of lost that feeling that he was trying to be sharp.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Well, at least now what I like about the way he played is that at least it's a different
structure.
Well, approach, exactly. He didn't play knight c6, getting exactly the same kind of problems that he was normally facing. And this c4, it's very risky strategically, but sometimes it does work.
I mean, it seems like this knight is going to have to take the bishop, right?
Yeah, probably.
That's kind of what it went there to do.
Yeah. Well, one more thing I would be tempted to do as white is, let's say knight takes e6, f takes e6, knight e3, you play something, and I just think here as like I'm not sure what I'm worried about exactly, right? What can go wrong? Like you cannot play knight c6. You don't really want to take on d3. Even without blundering e6, I don't think you're excited about it. I mean, I can play moves like rook a to d1. You cannot do much. Maybe d takes c4 even helps black in some way.
You want to play rook a d1?
Yeah, for instance, I'm just trying to figure out how the position where black can actually do something look.
Yeah, so now I have to defend that pawn.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess like this.
Yeah. All right, so let's say I play one more quiet move. I don't know, queen e2.
So my pawn is still pinned.
Yeah.
Plus you're threatening to win it.
Yeah, kind of. You can consider d5, which I mean I have a plan for at least. Don't know how great it is.
All right, let's try it.
Yeah. So the plan was actually realized even here. I'm not forced to react, but my plan was just to take on d5. Then, like, if I'm not winning immediately somehow, then I take on c4.
I see. You want to go c3.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, hold on. maybe it's time.
Oh no, come on, it's a check in all the lines. Like there is no d4, there is no knight takes c4 clearly. I just take on d5 and go back, right?
I was thinking like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, but knight takes d5 and I go back. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this pawn is a problem, and yeah, if I take with it, then unfortunately your bishop comes back, and I have the worst bishop.
It could be not too bad. I mean, you go knight b7, knight c5. But again, the only question is sort of how problematic this is.
Yeah, okay, here you got some chances, at least you're controlling these squares, but still, it doesn't feel great, yeah?
No.
There's like h4 ideas always.
Yeah.
But
you can also try some, I don't know, knight g5.
But maybe we can try.
Queen g4. Yeah, Jan played something.
All right, he took the bishop.
Makes sense. Safety first.
Yeah, so that's a logical move. So now Ding's going to capture. We're going to have this position after knight e3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still have a feeling bishop h6 is a bit more...
Like here.
I mean, ambitious if you can be... It's like a more ambitious defense, which sounds somewhat...
But what about like rook a d1 anyway?
Yeah, this you can do, that is true. But then, I mean, at least I have some, you know, things like... what kind of things, actually? I was about to say queen b6, to be honest. And then I wanted to somehow like impress you with the tactics, but it doesn't work. Still, I probably go queen b6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
You see, Daniil,
wow.
I say I wanted to impress you with the tactics.
Okay. I'm impressed.
There we go.
Okay, I'm impressed.
Oh, that was nice, right?
I'm not sure this is necessarily, I mean, I go bc and, you know, I take b2, but yeah.
But okay, I mean, is white, I don't know.
I'm very impressed, yes.
Yeah, look at that. That one move discovered attack came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I take on b2, I mean, bishop takes c4. It actually remains problematic.
Yeah. Although, yeah, still the structure is not amazing, yeah, for black.
Yeah, and he's pawn down.
Yeah.
We probably take on h3, and I mean, as long as we are not checkmated, we're probably doing okay.
Yeah, you can hide your queen here.
Yeah, and it's important that we have this a pawn. That, I mean, at least if we stabilize with rook f7, maybe it will go places one day.
Yeah, one second. So my beautiful tactic, it is not objectively like winning, unfortunately.
Yeah, but the problem is that after d takes c4, I mean, the tactic I kind of liked, but it doesn't work, was rook takes f2. But there is just king takes and king e2 then. And after that, I basically got to the point where I wanted to play b takes c4 simply. But then your knight takes c4 works brilliantly.
Right, like here, yeah.
Yeah, here I guess I just resign, kind of.
Because everything is open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, bishop h6 is not great.
Yeah, bishop h6.
It's just impressive how quickly Ding gets to this position. I mean, compared to the match with Magnus, for instance, where Magnus was also playing those quiet Spanish lines as black, and Jan would basically never get to outplay him, and I think he had like one chance for one move to be slightly better.
I think he actually played your move.
Yeah, bishop h6. Okay, bishop h6 is logical.
Yeah, he doesn't have to play queen b6 into the tactic.
Yeah. So it's impressive how compared to this match, like how easily Jan is just, I mean, it's always they start this quiet game, like 2 or 3 moves later, Ding is like really worse. It's impressive.
All right, yeah, Jan went rook a d1. There we go.
Okay.
And yeah, he just seems to have kind of free pressure from the opening, right?
Yeah.
Like without having to work excessively hard for it.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. This is just very mysterious to me. Like it's you always come, you plays this d3 Spanish, you're like much better by
And
move.
you go just bishop g5 and you take the
Yeah,
knight.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's an important
Yeah.
part of his arsenal.
Yeah, and the guy can never, prepare for it, or I don't know. Actually, I suspect strongly Queen b6 could be his plan, and he now realized that there is an issue with that.
I mean, basically, right now we're threatening to take the pawn. Is that right?
Yeah.
So before we were because before we didn't spend a tempo on that, so we were actually able to kind of guard that pawn at least with something. So now,
Well, now it could be that like it's time for something really pathetic
giving
already.
up the pawn and like taking on e3
Yeah,
somewhere.
like rook b8 even, to be collecting b2 in the end of most of the, but I mean again, it looks
All right.
looks so ugly.
Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Take.
Yeah, I guess bishop, knight takes, bishop takes, bc, queen d6. Yeah, I guess this one I kind of have a chance to survive. I take on e3. Yeah, take on f1, or take immediately. I don't know which way is better.
It's a very symmetric structure. Yeah, here black
Yeah, this one has to hold, I guess.
looks not so bad.
Yeah.
So maybe rook b8 is the point.
Well, could be. Well, it makes some sense, right? It could even be that.
Yeah. I
Yes.
mean,
The problem here is that you don't need to take on c4.
but
and
taking on
also-
c4 is kind of like the main idea, though. Every time you try it, then the rook is going to get the open file.
Yeah. Well, you could make an argument for playing, I don't know, queen e2, for instance.
Like that.
Yeah.
Getting out of the pin and also pressuring the pawn.
Yeah. No, I guess we'll have to do pretty much
Queen
the
c7?
same. Yeah, queen c7 maybe. Yeah. The problem is that is black we don't really have threats, right? I mean, you can just play even c3, I don't know, double on d5. It looks a bit strange. Yeah. And yeah,
So
queen
this doesn't look too bad for black, actually. This one I think we can play.
We'll have to.
Well, I
But
think the rook here is pretty decent.
yeah. White will double on d5. You'll never take b2. White will play h4. Your king is weak. White could also play b2, b4 to get rid of this weak pawn. No, it's not a fairy tale at all. I mean, I agree, it's not... I mean, it's not a position you will definitely lose. Okay, I'm once again impressed.
There we go, Daniil. It's number 2.
Yeah, this one you will probably survive then, yeah?
I'll
It's
give
funny
you
is
that
that,
pawn.
is
Yeah.
that let's say, even here after rook fd1,
Yeah. Can we show the viewers, tell the
Yes,
viewers the
yes.
nice point of this move?
yes, I'm getting tricked by Irina
Yeah.
every
as
5
you,
minutes.
as you keep talking, I'm looking
yeah.
at like, what tactic did he miss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but my point is, rook takes b2, even here after rook fd1,
Yeah.
you probably play something like rook b6.
Yeah.
And then I go h4. My point is that basically, like even in this position, I probably take white. I understand white is not better, but it's like it's so easy to play, and there is so little risk. And I mean,
All right. No. White definitely is not better in this one, though, without this pawn. Because look, I can stand with my queen here, my king here.
Okay, I'll
I'm
play.
also tying you down to this.
Yeah, I'll play g3, king g2, f3, h5. You will never get d5. You cannot really like chase my queen from c3. You only have weaknesses. No, I'm not saying I'm winning as white. Of course I blundered. I'm just saying this shows how comfortable
Yeah. Well, okay, well, if you can't put
It
the
is
rook on
full.
d2, then how are you going to do it?
Well, I could play, I don't know, b4 here.
Okay, that's important.
Kind of allows a5. Which again, you'll
Pawn takes and rook a6, yeah?
yeah, which you'll probably have to play. Yeah, I don't know. Like you're fighting for survival, you'll probably manage rook d2, queen takes a5, right? I don't know, maybe. Not the biggest fan, I must say.
You're about to pile up on this pawn, huh?
Yeah. No, I mean, maybe you just go queen takes a5 and you somehow survive this. Yeah, queen takes c4 was also an option. So here, I guess you take on a3.
Yeah, most likely this.
Yeah, but then you take on a3. You go, I don't know, rook c3.
But
No, it's a very, very sad way to.
yeah, no, I don't really want to survive like this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe when you played queen c3, I should have just kind of noticed that this is one of your ideas.
Yeah, maybe.
Should I maybe put my queen on c5 first? Like, let's just look at this, because the queen is not bad here.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I don't need the rook on b6 in order to stop rook d2. That's
Yeah. Yeah, it's very much based on this rook takes d2 idea, I agree. But then we should probably go back and look for a way
Okay.
for white to.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just like this idea that you're suggesting with rook b8. I think it makes some sense. It really feels like he's going to have to go for counterplay on the b file.
Yeah. But if rook b8 is correct, then it's quite a bad sign for black. I mean,
Really? But I feel like all the bad signs are already there.
yeah, that is
I don't think this move is the sign of the bad times coming, you know?
Yeah, that is also true. Yeah. It's also hard to even come up with like some good news for black in terms of strategy. You have the knight on a5, you have this weak pawn structure, you have the pawn on c4 that you basically fail to protect almost. Then white can take on c4 and open the d file and attack your weak pawn on d6 any moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the bishop on h6 is.
Well, the good news, the good news
yeah.
is the pin.
Yeah.
The good news is that I'm still keeping your bishop shut down. The good news is that this rook can provide some counterplay. And like the only real problem in my position is like if you get to these pawns, right? Like you need to get to this pawn to show me a problem. So if you can't do that in such a direct way, then you know maybe I can survive and like.
Well, my bishop is not shut down. My bishop
No?
is actually brilliant.
Yeah, okay.
No, I honestly think, let's say you're white, and you're given a choice where to put this bishop. Where do you want it? Do you think some g4 is necessarily better? I'm not sure.
You know what I was just thinking about? Like, is there any point at all to like a plan like this? Just kind of, well, I don't know, maybe
Well,
not.
Well, seeing d4, I guess, would be quite early for.
For black.
Yeah. Then your bishop will indeed be quite limited.
Yeah, I was thinking bringing it here, but then he still just stares into that pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But you can just play it some slow way. You can play c3, queen e2.
Okay, so go ahead, play some moves. I think queen c7 is my next move.
Yeah, so. Let's examine d takes c4 one more time, actually.
I see one grandmaster is commenting, queen b6 is natural since you want to put pressure on both e3 and b2. So yeah, that's the move that we talked about. We did think it's natural, but
Okay, so you want,
does it work?
you want to trick someone else, then yeah, okay.
But the thing is, maybe did we not? Maybe we didn't look at this. Maybe we.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the kind of the idea that there's.
Yeah, so bishop takes e3, we have to play
yeah,
then.
you gotta throw in
yeah.
this trade.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how happy I am here as black. Maybe it's not too bad. So queen takes e3. We have to take, I guess.
You know what I just realized? We can actually follow the YouTube chat of our commentary.
Okay.
And see what
By game 20, we'll kind of...
See if we figured it out.
Yeah.
All right, let's try that.
Let's say takes on d6. And this is, well, this is not quite the same, right? We had this with rook on b8. Yeah, it could be that black is still on time or something like this, but it shouldn't be that simple at least. Rook b8, I think, played. Or c8, but I guess b8. Yeah, he played rook b8. Okay.
Yeah, rook b8 on the board. Let's
Reasonable.
go back.
This is reasonable.
All right, so what were you thinking about here? c3, queen e2?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we kind of started with saying d takes c4 is not a problem, which you need to be kind of really sure about as black.
So let's make
but
sure.
But maybe it is not. Yeah.
I mean, we looked at this end game.
Yeah, queen takes d6 is not forced. Even bishop takes c4 is not forced. But if not bishop takes c4, we just take on e3.
Yeah, kind of why make that trade?
And I suspect strongly that even knight takes e3 will be okay, even giving up the pawn on e6.
Look, the viewers are so happy that we're looking at YouTube chat. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, hey guys, we are reading all your wonderful comments.
Yeah.
So here we go, knight c4.
Okay, so bishop takes is kind of forced. Takes.
Yeah.
Queen takes d6. I mean, I don't really want to go in details, but indeed it does feel okay.
Yeah.
It also feels like black can, for instance, start with rook takes b2 here. It feels like even black has some options. But here, yeah, rook takes b2. I mean, has to be normal, most probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe it's not that bad. Still a bit, I mean, all right, I will give up on trolling Ding's attempts to play for a win, but it's still funny to me.
I'm saying hello to our viewers.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. All right, so
we somehow went from like being some like very smart official broadcast to basically streaming like almost Battle's live level. Yeah, we some just chill. We only need drinks. Yeah, and me playing Title Tuesday, and then
Yeah, but I'm not going to be dancing around in the background, Daniil.
Yeah, but you can play too. I'm good dancing actually. I'm good dancing actually. You can play. Yeah, we can switch.
Will you do the dancing?
No, okay. I mean as long as I'm given shots like once in 5 minutes, I could, I guess. Yeah, so no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Yeah. No, our chat is wonderful actually. I think they become nicer, Daniil, when they know that we're reading them.
Okay.
All right. So look, the game is developing, I think, in a pretty tense way still, right? It seemed a little bit scary for Ding. Now we see him play rook b8. I mean, sure, it seems like Nepo is the one who has like, the main choices here, but it doesn't seem like that desperate for black at the moment. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Could you explain to me the wishes thing, by the way? So how does it work exactly? So like every single time we ask him to tweet, he actually tweets?
Well, I don't know if it's like that. I don't know if it's like Vichy in a bottle, you know, like Genie in a bottle, that he comes out every time we rub the bottle and he gives us some clues. But I don't know. I think Vichy does listen to us actually, and so he hears our pleas for help.
Yeah, this would be nice actually.
Yeah, tell us what you're thinking now, Vichy. How does this position seem to you?
It's quite a help. Like if I'm Vichy, I probably, like if I have this contract, I probably just give the Twitter password to some guy.
So someone wants to know if h4, h5 is an idea for white.
Well, positionally, yes, of course, I guess. In terms of strategy, it is.
Yeah.
So let's say after, let's play. Yeah, the problem is that queen b6 is a bit annoying. But let's try, let's say queen e2, queen c7, right? What did you play after queen e2?
Yeah, queen e2. I did play queen c7.
You probably played queen b6, yeah?
Actually, yeah, maybe now I will play queen b6.
Yeah.
Because there's no... pawn
but
takes, wait.
What I wanted to say is that, let's say, even here h4 is kind of valid idea.
So wait, why aren't we taking here now?
I thought bishop takes c3, but, you know.
It just doesn't work, with these double pawns. Or
yeah, but then e3 is even hanging with a check, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't even see how this
Can't
would
even
work.
get this, yeah.
Yeah.
So queen b6 is also possible coming up. Queen e2, queen b6.
Even on this line, it was actually, so let's actually go back. So d takes c4. It kind of shows, no, I mean queen e2, queen e2, queen b6, d takes c4. It kind of shows what the problem is for black. So let's say we do all this stuff. F takes c3, knight takes c4. White says, all right, congratulations, bishop takes c4, bc, queen takes c4. Okay, you are happy to take on e3 with a check. White plays king h1. What's next exactly? I mean, I understand it's kind of... I was about to say, I understand it's kind of close to a draw. Actually, I don't understand that anymore.
Okay, you think that these pawns are in trouble.
Also, a6 is hanging too. I mean, it's like definitely not equal. Indeed, it kind of feels like with the best play, that will probably survive. Although, now that I look at it, I'm not even sure about that.
First, I got to figure out which pawn I'm trying to save. Am I trying to save anything? It's not like very easy to save this guy.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're like in the position to choose. Actually, I mean, it will be my choice as white. No, I guess you have to play something quiet. I don't know, king g7 or something.
Yeah, so you're
going
to take.
You know, yeah, then you probably, I don't know, maybe then you take on e4. I'm not, I'm not sure, I don't know. Maybe your queen c7 was better.
All right.
But after queen c7, h4 makes some sense indeed. So we actually go to this line trying to answer the question about h4, which never happened. Yeah, this position looks unpleasant for black, what can we say?
So you're going to take on e6?
Yeah, thought maybe queen takes e4. But I agree that in general, I mean, if you're black here and like after some queen takes d6, you realize you don't have a move, you're not surprised, kind of. So maybe queen c7 instead then.
Right here.
Yeah. But then indeed we can try this viewer's concept with h4. h4 is not exactly killing yet. But it's a useful move. Sometimes we want to play h5, sometimes we're happy to have this Luft simply.
So what is black's plan here?
I don't think there is a plan really, to be honest. That's what I'm talking about. The plan is to sit and wait and basically to react.
All right, so you're kind of like holding the tension here, not trading here yet, so I can't like can't move my knight, I can't move my pawn, my queen is like tied down, so it's a little tricky. You know, maybe, first of all, I'm going to go king g7.
Okay.
Is that terrible? Am I walking into some knight g4?
Yeah, could be. I was wondering about that too. On the other hand, knight g4, I mean, even if you take on h6,
Yeah, it's not the end of the
not the
world.
end of the world yet, but yeah.
Maybe king h8. How about king h8? I know it's
Yeah.
actually let's go king g7. Let's provoke you into going there. Maybe it's not that good.
Okay, you provoked me. I go knight g4. Aha, so it's only now that Jan is actually back to the board. Okay. So he was thinking from the room. Let's find out what he kind of decided to play. I think he only goes back with a clear plan. This is actually funny. He kind of prefers to think in the room, and he only comes back when he has a clear plan. I mean, he probably spends some time normally over the board to recheck it, but it's not like he's looking for a solution now. He just yeah, and he plays a move.
What did he
D
do?
takes c4.
He took right away. He decides not to keep the pressure.
Yeah.
There.
Okay.
Interesting.
Very solid approach.
So he took. We're
Makes
expecting
sense.
for knight takes.
Makes sense again. They will have this rook ending that is better for white and probably draw. I mean, given how Ding was defending this 3 against 2, why not to give it a shot? He's also on +1. Very solid.
Well, you think that after knight takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, like he's just gonna what, like
Yeah, he
take
will.
that pawn?
Yeah, of course.
Really? And we're gonna like trade everything down again?
Yeah, but it's like we trade everything down and then white is pawn up. I mean, it's not that we shake hands.
Yeah, but you weren't that excited about that option when we talked about it.
Yeah, I mean, my first impression was that white probably has even more. I think this is one of my drawbacks as a player, actually, that sometimes when I feel that my opponent made a mistake, I start looking for a kill, exactly. And sometimes it's that you're just better. I mean, okay, you're given, let's say, this ending with an extra pawn.
Okay, let's take a look at it if you think that's what's coming. Let's take a look here.
No, the alternative is something like queen c3 here.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I find it hard to believe that he wants that.
Yeah, there's also bishop e3, right, after that?
Yeah, then you go f takes and you say basically c4 is weaker than
Double pawns,
than
okay.
b2, but yeah.
But you think this is what's coming?
Probably.
Objectively, okay.
Yeah.
I can't believe I put on this sparkly shirt for nothing. I mean, I thought if I put on this shirt, there's no way they're not going to play an exciting game.
Okay.
But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right, bishop takes e3.
Yeah.
And pawn
takes.
takes. Okay, so we were looking at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then white can just take the 2, right? You can take on e6, for instance, or
Yeah.
a6, I don't know. Yeah, now you take e6.
So right now, you're up a pawn. If you take there, you'll be up another pawn.
Yeah. No,
But I mean, isn't this like,
I think this
So
will
if I
this will normally become a 2 against 2 with an extra e pawn for
pawn?
white. Yeah. So rook takes e5, let's say. Yeah. So now I can play rook c5, but I will probably even play king e2, trying to show off a little. Yeah. Okay.
He's just going for this.
I think it was kind of more precise for black to make sure you take at least one of the e-pawns. So let's say after rook takes b2, rook takes c2 I kind of like. So maybe here we go rook e2, for instance, instead.
Yeah, get rid of this guy.
Yeah. Ah, wait, it is also true actually that if white ignores us like that, we actually had rook b8. We could actually be winning here. I mean, winning is a bit too strong, but we could be, you know, on a better side even sometimes.
Well, that's funny.
Yeah.
Because our king is like beautifully able to escape from all the checks.
Yeah. White is in time with rook takes c5 followed by rook g5 though, which kind of saves him, of course. Or maybe not actually. We push the c pawn, maybe it will promote. I don't know. But white probably had to take on f8.
So white should be throwing in that capture at some point. So like here, here. Okay, let's say somewhere here. They take,
Yeah.
take. Here?
Yes. Yeah, now c3 was probably a threat actually, right? c3 just promotes. Yeah, I think it does.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you go here, you go here.
And king f2, rook d2.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Get there on time.
So white had to spend one more tempi.
Doing what?
I'm not sure. Like playing rook c6 maybe. And
It's
then
interesting how Ding, he's taken his time on this capture. I wonder what's making him think, because knight c4 is obvious, but I guess there's no harm in like looking ahead and trying to see what Nepo is going for, right?
well, he could be, like, the point could be that he's worried. Yeah, I think he took with the knight though.
Yeah.
Then what I was about to say doesn't make any sense. Well, it could be that he kind of understands that queen takes d6 is a draw. And this is why he thinks bishop takes c4, b takes c4, queen c3 is still a plan. Which is he's not too worried about, but he was just trying to figure out if b takes c4 could be a better option. Which of course it shouldn't be. So I think he made the right choice. Yeah, Jan takes on c4 with the bishop as we expected. B takes c4. So now he has to choose. I guess queen takes d6 is actually very close to a draw indeed. At least that's how it felt to us, right?
But we can check it again.
Yeah, but let's actually check something else. Like if he will take on d6, we'll spend like an hour checking this.
Rook endgame,
So
yeah.
yeah. So let's actually have a look at let's say queen c3. So queen c3. I feel strongly that black has to take. He takes on d6.
Yeah, your fun was cut short, Daniil.
I mean, okay.
Oh, look at this.
Maybe the game will not be fun, but you know.
Margaret says, I want this to become a boring endgame so Irina and Daniil can chat about random personal topics again. They're so funny.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think, Margaret, you're going to get what you want. Yeah.
Yeah, but for that, white has to maintain this
Has to keep this going for
extra.
a while.
Yeah, this extra pawn formal advantage, and then you'll get what you want, people.
And also, guys, don't forget us to send in your questions on Twitter or in the YouTube chat, like something either funny or intelligent, okay? Right?
Yeah, preferably funny. We have too many intelligent people around, and they're all too serious, so please. Some stupid jokes are very welcome.
All right, so let's see what's on the board.
Yeah,
the
so
trades are happening.
Okay. So both have probably calculated it till some 3 against 2 with an e-pawn. Okay.
Okay.
So he actually took on f1.
Ding made the first trade.
Okay.
Yeah. King takes f1.
But actually, why do you play it that quickly? Some rook c1
Yeah, I know.
was an issue, or what?
Why he traded so fast, right?
Like rook takes b2, rook c1 exists. I thought about it too. It's kind of hard to. Yeah, maybe it is an issue actually. Yeah, at the same time, I mean, if you checked it 3 times and you realized you get there with rook takes f1, then it's easier to trade it all. But then, yeah, rook takes a6. I mean, there is quite a real chance for white to get this e-pawn at the end. So let's say rook a6, rook c2, rook e6. What do you play?
Yeah, I don't
Ah,
get
he
the
can
time.
probably play c3, right?
C3 like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have time to take.
Yeah, and then after rook c6,
That's
I guess
important.
we're safe, right? We just wait for.
Yeah, if you take, then this pawn actually gets to go.
Yeah.
And that's what black wants. So, okay, Ding is taking on c2.
Yeah.
Here we go. And, so he didn't take on a6, yeah, he took on e6.
Yeah. Well, rook takes c5 doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I guess you'll never get
Just,
your stuff going. Yeah, so rook a6.
okay, so rook a6.
Yeah, but this is pretty much the same. So after c3, white is kind of forced to.
Go rook c6.
Yeah, and then we just go king f7. Like at very least we can play king f7.
And then one day we'll like trade these pawns.
Yeah, we'll wait for this a pawn to come closer and has to be okay. Yeah, makes sense.
So basically you haven't managed to win this pawn, so you can't really move the king.
Yeah.
So one day, as soon as this pawn moves, like the rook just gets behind it, we make a trade and kind of agree to a draw.
Yeah. Actually, a4, rook a2 is not the worst moment, probably, as we pick up e4 as well. So let's say a4 here, rook a2
Yes.
takes,
And you get this pawn
takes.
as well.
I mean, you go rook c7 check, king g8. Then maybe you're lucky and you will get, rook e4, some rook, I don't know, c5 or yeah, exactly.
And you put black in a little bit of zigzag and try to win this pawn.
Yeah, but at the same time, rook h4 will be there, and even if you win this pawn, it's quite a simple draw as far as I know. So. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we're going to get another exciting game.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe
you know
one
what's
day.
funny? It's funny that after, like about the midway point, there was an interview with Levon, and he said that he thought the second half of the match would be a shadow of the first half. Those were his words. And I was really hoping that wasn't going to be true. And we know when Game 8 started, Game 8 was amazing again, even though it ended in a draw. But now things have kind of settled down, right? And it almost feels like maybe this is what, this is the way games normally should go in this kind of vein. But we just got used to something completely different for the first 8 games.
But I think it's kind of normal for the matches in general. I mean, you can take more risks with like 8 games to go than with 3 games to go. Kind of makes sense. Say Jan being on +1, even like if you're on +1 after game, like whatever, 6 or 7, basically why not to play? It's like very unlikely that you'll manage to draw the rest of the games. So why not to play? You can actually win, it can become +2. And like more than half of the match is ahead of you. And it kind of makes sense to try to win. But then...
At which point do you start getting more conservative? Is it like now? Like game 11?
I think the only game where Jan was really conservative as white was... what was it actually? The Berlin was not conservative at all, by the way.
Right.
Maybe like partially because he got a very good position quickly, but it was not. So this is his like first really conservative game as white, right? Like he was clearly pressing and yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get to hold the middle game tension for too long in this game. That's the problem, right? And I guess, I mean, when someone is asking online, well, what move should he have done to avoid such a peaceful resolution? Well, I don't know, it depends, I guess, on this position, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's sort of the key where we felt like everything up to this point was very logical. And I don't know, maybe white's not a lot better, but they don't have to force things so quickly with this.
Yeah, but the options were there, though. Like, it's not that white had to take on a6 necessarily. I mean, again, like, all the things he did looked reasonable to us. But yeah, at the same time, neither him nor us have invested a lot of time in this. So rook takes a6, rook a2 played. Rook c6, so they are, rook takes a3.
Okay.
Let's actually
Let's go back.
jump to the game, yeah. It's kind of likely that it will finish soon. Rook takes c4. So now how do we force a draw?
1 second, like the last few moves, so he took the pawn.
Yeah.
And what happened? Rook a2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you have many moves to be honest.
Yeah.
Rook a2 is probably the most straightforward one actually.
Interesting. So he really, I mean, I don't know, it feels like Jan didn't do the most today that he could have, I don't know, with this.
He didn't need to at the same time.
So you just feel like, okay, at some point match strategy takes over. Like you're no longer interested in playing for the maximum, like, okay, draw with white, it's quite okay.
No, but it kind of makes sense, right? I mean, in the football match, once again, even the better team can start, like chilling next to the corner with the ball, and they normally try to kill time like that. And it's normal. I mean, same as chess. They don't do it with like.
Or like in chess boxing, you try to run down the clock.
Yeah. I mean, please don't compare chess boxing to football, but yeah, probably, yeah.
No, I know that strategy exists there as well.
Yeah. Okay, so let's figure out how we finish this. So rook takes c3 is the most ambitious move. I mean, of course, we can switch for like some fortresses instead, but we want to take.
Okay.
So let's take king f2.
Yeah.
Rook, I guess, a3.
Yeah.
Rook c5, I guess. And then we go check. Rook a2 check. You kind of run forward. Rook a3. King g4. Rook a2. Now I don't think I'm terribly worried about king g5, so king h3. And then I have to attack the pawn somehow. Yeah, like this, king f7, king. I think black is in time, right? So you go king like g3, king f6, and we are in time, simply. Yeah, king f7, king f3, rook takes g2. Kind of looked convincing to me.
Well, yeah, this would end in a draw.
Yeah. Yeah, he does take. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's on the board.
Yeah.
So pawns are even.
Yes.
By the way, Daniil, in our chat, they say that you have a lot of fans in Indonesia.
Indonesia? Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you know that? You know what I discovered today, Daniil, is that you're actually very popular online.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I went.
It's kind of funny is that, like, I mean, at the end of the match, we'll probably figure out some basic things about each other, right?
Exactly.
I mean, just very funny. Like, where is this guy from? Who? I mean, is he actually good at chess? And
yeah, you know.
Same with you. Like, okay.
Actually, yesterday, one of the comments in the YouTube chat. Let me read it to you. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. It was something about. Does Daniil when has Daniil ever called Irina by name or something like that? And I was like, well, you know, we do know that you do know my name because yesterday you invented that hashtag praise Irina, so we got that confirmation that by like game 4 of our analyzing together, you did learn my name. Yeah. So all right, here we go. But yeah, no, I was looking at you know, like the Russian language channels where you're doing commentary, and the people really seem to, you know, love your insights and your stories.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good to see.
Listen, people, Irina is not paid for doing that. Believe me.
Oh no, I'm not.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's just friendly advertising.
Yeah, I mean, I don't quite get why today started with my game against Savannah and now we have this, but I like it certainly.
Don't you feel like that was the most exciting thing that we saw today? Was those like 5 minutes when we went over your game?
Yeah, that is probably true actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad to agree, but yeah, it is probably true. Okay.
What's your favorite calisthenics exercise, Daniil?
I don't know, muscle ups maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, it's funny because I ran into Daniil in the gym yesterday, and I realized we do very different exercises.
Yes.
I do like spinal stretches, and Daniil.
No, but seriously, can I share this? Like your strategy, like it's hysterical.
Okay, go ahead.
So.
Make it like not too embarrassing, okay?
No, it's not embarrassing at all. But seriously, people. So Irina was doing yoga with her laptop. So she literally came with a bag, and like there was a laptop in this bag to the gym.
You thought I was doing chest preparation.
Yeah, I thought you're trying you're probably running out of time, so you're trying to learn some openings like in between. I mean, when you have breaks. Mm-hmm. But no, she was actually following some like yoga videos and you know trying to repeat the exercises shown. Mm-hmm. But it's probably the first time I ever saw a person in the gym with a laptop. Like she literally had her laptop on the floor, people.
By the yoga mat.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I mean.
Well, I'm very resourceful like that, Daniil. I know it's not the standard thing, but I mean, it's really good exercise videos, you know. So how else can I play it?
No, I completely get it. When I started thinking about it, I realized that like there is nothing
crazy about it.
Yeah, there is nothing like not rational in it or something. It's just that I've never seen such a thing, and I was.
Yeah, I like to look for solutions outside the box.
Yeah.
Sometimes that requires me taking a laptop to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you could also come to the chess game with a yoga mat, no? I mean, okay, I don't know. I mean, it also makes sense, no? You can go to the room and you can do some stuff. It's much more comfortable with the mat.
You mean like bring the mat to the room? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you just settle there. I mean, imagine Nepo coming to the game actually with a mat. Or Ding. It would be cool, no? I mean,
and doing a little bit of like tree pose.
Yeah. I mean, games of this kind actually allow you to do something.
I think it would be
simultaneously.
Great. I think it would be good if they both had yoga mats and showed us some of their poses, like during this very exciting game.
Yeah. I mean, during this game, you actually have quite some time. I mean, this would be funny.
Yeah. You know, another great quote that we had from YouTube chat a few days ago, it said, Daniil is a gangster.
Okay.
And the woman is the gangster boss.
Okay.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
Okay. But it started with you, yeah? I think it's a quote, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, this
was before we started talking about rap.
Okay,
That quote was from before, so people actually figured this out.
Okay.
Yeah, question for Daniil and Irina from Bongo Jazz. Now, I'm shocked that Bongo Jazz is asking us about something other than our hair, because that seemed to have been his favorite topic so far.
Okay.
But he's asking, would either of you try chess boxing?
I mean, again, chess boxing doesn't look tempting to me compared to the normal boxing, which I did for some years. So yeah, I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
It has to be someone who, you really dislike, but also you don't dislike him strongly, right? Your opponent has to be this kind of person who kind of annoys you, but not too much. As if it's for real, then I mean, it's a bit weird to go to the ring, right?
Should we start negotiating your match with Anish now?
Nah, I mean, Anish, it's no serious. Come on. Yeah, I mean, also given his chess style, I don't see him accepting it too often. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't see myself doing that.
How about
for a few reasons.
How about you against Anish? Actually,
me against Anish?
I would still have my money on you.
No,
I saw you doing this yoga, No, I mean, and you're tough.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, you're tough. I mean, you could, you know.
I
Yeah.
try to stay in shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did my hour of walking last night.
Okay.
Yeah, every day. I'm so committed to that.
Okay. Yeah. Very sporty.
Has anything happened in this game, Daniil?
Well, the position after king h3 is on the board.
Okay, we already looked at that.
Like looking at Ding, I have a feeling he kind of figured out what the point could be for Jan, but I still don't get this. I mean, first of all, there's like a billion of ways of holding this. You can, of course.
You know what I want? Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go.
no, go
No,
ahead.
I mean,
I'm not interested in this game at all. So
okay,
go
good.
ahead.
Now, I wanted to ask you, because we were asked like what animal would we associate the game of chess with earlier on. That was like one of the Twitter questions. So I wanted to ask you, what animal do you associate yourself with? Do you have like a kind of a soul animal?
Oh, come on, no.
Come on.
No. I don't.
No?
No.
Nothing?
No.
No animal? Okay. Do you want to guess my animal?
No, but I want to know the answer.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, just try guessing. Come on. You like to play guessing games.
Yeah, not this kind, I'm afraid. All right, let's start with
Think of
I don't
something
know.
elegant and
Yeah.
graceful.
yeah, something like.
And independent. Okay, I'm going to give you some qualities here.
Well, it has to be something like cat, yeah, but it could be some like big cat.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a cat, but you see, so I mean, I would say my default is like just a regular cat.
Yeah,
but
some
if I need
tigers
to get
or-
more, if I need to get more aggressive, I turn into a bigger cat.
Yeah, tigers, yeah, or something.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Panther. Okay.
Yeah.
Surya, our friend from India, says, I was just making a cup of coffee. What happened in Nepo Ding? Yeah, Surya, you didn't miss much. Tell us, Daniil, what's happening here?
Well, a draw is happening. But Surya, like if you need our help, you could actually rewind it back and you can watch. Like it's not that the stream disappears. But in general, yeah, starting from rook b8, I guess it was a very straightforward line that we kind of saw too from quite far away. And yeah, it was like forcing in a way that black had to play all the moves he played. And white had options, but they were not exactly too tempting, so Jan just decided to make a draw. A funny line would be king f6, king f3, rook takes g2, rook h5. Can you actually do that? So rook e5, king f6, king f3, this is how they will repeat. But let's say king f3, king f3 there is king takes e5, that's a problem.
Yes.
I wanted rook takes g2, rook h5.
You wanted this and
Yeah.
this?
Which is probably, I mean, you just go rook b2 and
That's funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they repeat. Okay.
All right, so the match is slowing down a little bit in intensity,
Yeah.
as I guess that Jan on his +1 score doesn't feel that he has a lot to risk.
Yeah.
With just how many more games remaining? 3 more games remaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're having this funny conversation. I think they're getting used to when Ding says, like, all right, it's a draw. Jan says, of course, it's a draw, but someone has to claim it as a. Yeah, so now they got a confirmation of the threefold and they can finally shake hands. Okay. Well, Ding finally survived this Ruy Lopez with the knight on d5, right?
Yeah.
Which is quite a good
Yeah, we
sign
thought
for
his
him.
position was a little bit shaky. Do
Yeah.
you want to do a brief recap of this game? I bet this is going to be another 10-minute recap for you today, Daniil, so you can be happy about that.
Yeah, probably. So the game started with this quiet Ruy Lopez with d3, where Ding decided to, first Jan deviated from c3 that he played before. He played the one with a3 that he played a lot too, including the games against Ding. And Ding decided to deviate from the most popular line that starts with castling knight c3, knight e5.
Hey, let me just tell you, Daniil.
Okay, go ahead.
Our chat says the only thing I enjoyed the most in this game is Dubov's humor.
Okay.
Yeah. And here's another one.
But this is very, like Irina's humor is actually better, you just don't get it.
Hold on. Irina, have you considered writing a poem for Daniil? And here's the thing. No, I haven't, because I did some research and I found out that actually, Daniil, you said you write poetry, so I'm waiting for you to write the poem.
No, come on. No, but this is I mean, again, this is a meme, right? This was like Almira's way to kind of support me for some reason. I mean, we were doing the commentaries for candidates in Yekaterinburg, and then there was this famous joke that some people think didn't go well.
Oh yeah.
And stuff, and then somehow, like, instead of being blamed, I was like gifted this poetry on air.
Oh wow, that was nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so going back, knight a5 was played instead of the normal castling. Bishop a2, c5, knight c3, bishop a6. It is also a well-known line. It's kind of more rare. And well, knight h4 here leads to some very interesting disbound positions, which Jan, it seems, didn't really need. He played bishop g5 instead, which is considered to be a very solid approach. Ding played castles, c4 also exists. Takes knight d5, so they finally got the same kind of position that they had in game 5 that Jan actually won. Ding played g6, queen d2, bishop g7, which we were kind of surprised by a little, as this allows knight g5. After which he decided to give up this bishop, and the position after knight takes c6, f takes knight e3 looked, we thought, promising for white.
Let's check the engine and see what it says here.
Okay. It says plus 0.7.
Okay, that's not a bad plus after rook b8.
It's not. So it went bishop h6, rook a to d1, and Ding played rook b8, which seems to be a good move, and probably as the numbers drop a little.
And here, could have kept the tension.
Yeah, as I told you, something like h3 or queen e2. But yeah, probably it was not much for white. So at the end of the day, Jan just decided to enter this long first line.
Do you think he would have made that decision earlier in the match if he wasn't on +1?
I don't want to speculate. My guess would be no, but it's hard to tell. And then white took on d6, and they traded queens, and then they traded minor pieces, and then they traded rooks, and then they traded pawns, and then basically they got to this position where not this one actually. So what was it? So king h3, rook e2, rook takes e5, king f7. White was not in time to keep his extra pawn on e4, and they repeated moves after rook e8, king f7, rook e5, king f6, which was quite understandable. No, I think it was a reasonable game. Once again, people probably dislike it, but after having so many roller coasters, I'm kind of okay with these kind of games. Although I must say, having how many, like 2 in a row or even 3 is kind of enough. So psychologically, I'm kind of ready for one more like bad crazy game.
Well, the good news for us is that Ding has 2 white games out of the next 3, and he badly needs to win, so something has to happen in the next few days.
Yeah. Now let's confess, so what about the free day?
Yeah, we shouldn't talk about things that we have no idea about, right? And we don't know. I mean, normally they've had 2 games of play on a free day, but you're saying you think that it might be different, that they might
I think there's normally a free day in the World Championship match before the last game.
But why don't we just let Ketsi announce that? At the end of the press conference, she always announces when the next game is going to be.
But I'm pretty sure there is a free day. Tomorrow, and then they probably play 3 in a row. No, 2 in a row, right? It's 3 to go.
So then that's just normal, right? That just follows.
Okay, now I'm confused. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Let's hope.
Hello everyone, welcome at the press conference of round 11. Today the game has ended in a draw and the current score is 6-5 in favor of Jan Nepomniachtchi. I would like to ask both the similar question, the same question in fact. First I will go with Ding. The first moves in today's game were similar to the one you played at the Candidates Tournament back in 2020, which was won by Jan Nepomniachtchi. Does this past result influence today's game from a psychological point of view?
Yeah, when he played A3, I recorded game. It was a very bad memory for me. He didn't push very hard to win with this line, but white always maintains some small advantages, and black has to be careful to hold. But today, we played another line in this variation, and I guess my play was much better than last time.
All right, thank you. What about you, Ding? Sorry, Jan. Do you want me to repeat the question, maybe? Or it's okay?
No, not really. I can slightly recall the question. Yeah. I mean, there is this A3, D3, A3. Really Lopez is always like slight pressure for white, and I guess. We had this game in Yekaterinburg, but I think today Ding played a different line. Yeah, this early 95 C5. I mean, basically all lines are very good against A3, and everywhere white is like have very small pressure. I'm not quite sure I was right to take on C4, because somehow I thought that I will at least get this 3 against 2 rook endgame. But unfortunately 3 against 2 never happens. So like black has enough time to make sure like it's white won't get an extra pawn. So yeah, probably this was a little bit premature, but anyway I think black is very solid. So yeah, perhaps should have played it slowly, like I don't know, queen e2 maybe instead of d takes c4. So this was perhaps not the best decision, but anyway I don't think it was something very serious for white.
Ding, was there today's game any real chances to spice up a little bit the position and to play for a decisive result? If so, where do you think you could have deviated in order to get more active game?
Well, after knight g5, at that point I played c4, and after c4 he always have the chance to liquorize to the endgame. But instead of c4, if I play anything else, then f4 comes, I will be in danger of getting worse. So I don't think I have so many chances today.
Right, and also I'll just follow up with the next question. There are still 3 games to go, in which you will have 2 whites. Is there anything you will change in your strategy to maximize your chances to get the victory you need?
Of course, I will try my best in the last 3 games. Also, tomorrow will be a rest day. I have more time to prepare some extra idea.
All right, thank you. Jan, do you think that the most difficult part of the match is already behind and now you just have to finish the job, or do you think that the most critical games are still ahead of you?
You gotta be kidding.
Sorry?
You gotta be kidding, no?
I'm not.
I mean, indeed, it's 3 games, and I should give it all, to do the job, let's say so. But of course, it's nothing anything it's over. Obviously not. It's pretty much unclear match, I think.
Okay, thank you. And my last question to Ding. Anyway, do we have questions in the press? I would like to go first with your questions. Yes, please.
Вопрос Яну Непомнящему. Ян, сегодня вот ничья белыми. С одной стороны это ничья, а с другой стороны вы ведете в счете, вы еще на шаг ближе к титулу. Вы довольны вот результатом сегодняшним или нет?
The question to Jan Nepomniachtchi, and the question is that today it's a draw. On the one hand, it's a draw. On the other hand, you're 1 point ahead, and this gets you closer to the end result. Are you satisfied with the result of the game today?
Ну, нельзя сказать, что я доволен ни в коем случае, потому что, мне кажется, позиция была приятнее и, ну, такой был хороший характер борьбы. Ну, вот ДЦ, мне кажется, очень неудачное решение. Я почему-то думал, что все-таки БЦ вместо комбит, ну, там после БЦ есть ход Б4, например, да, то есть там шансы у белых есть, а после комбит С4 просто, ну, все меняется. Вот, но, да, с другой стороны, ну, ничья — это в целом приемлемый результат в такой ситуации.
I can't say that I'm fully satisfied with the result of the game. I think that D7 was not the greatest decision. Before there are plenty of chances, but Knight C4 was also a working decision, and the draw is still a draw that gets me close to the end result. So, thank you.
Do we have more? We have question from Leoncho, please.
Leoncho Garcia from El País. As I don't have too much to write about today's game, I will kindly ask you your help to write about some different topic but connected with, which are the preventive anti-cheating measures taken by FIDE in this World Championship. I have two questions for both of you. The first one is, are you satisfied with those measures, or do you have any suggestion to improve on that sense? And the second question, making clear that I'm not asking you about concrete names, is, do you think that any of the world's top 25 have ever cheated?
Thank you for the question. Jan, we will go first with you.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I guess it's a tricky question, especially the second one. So yeah, I guess in the cycle tournaments, like same was, I guess, in Madrid and in the candidates in the previous match. I guess, I mean, one wouldn't believe this is possible. Yes, so I mean, all the measures are being taken quite seriously, and also you sort of like trust your opponent, whom you know so well. But speaking of, I don't know, some top players, I mean, you can never be sure, especially when you play online.
I mean, yeah. Over the board, mainly. Over the board, mainly.
Over the board, I would hardly believe, but there is always, I mean, there is always someone who speculates about this. Yes. So once again, I guess it's very difficult to like completely prevent it, like, so there would be no like zero chance, yeah, to play unfair. But I hope that the risk of denunciation is too high for especially for the top players to do this.
Thank you. Ding, what about you?
Well, as we know, there are some cheating cases happen online, but over the board, especially for the tournament I have already played, I don't believe there is some cheating happens at the same time.
Thanks a lot to both of you.
Thank you very much. Next question, please.
I have a question to Dean. Dean, you are down 1 point. Did you have any ideas of playing, I don't know, Sicilian or maybe some sharp line to get back to the fight? Because you played e5 today, and maybe it's too calm or maybe it's too early for you to take a lot of risk.
Yeah, still it's, I think it's too early to play something like Sicilian. At that point, still there are 3 games ahead. You know, in candidates, I win on the last game, so anything can happen in the last 3 rounds.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next question, please.
Ulrich Stock from Die Zeit in Hamburg. A question to both players. Have you heard that 500 meters from here, Hans Niemann is playing in an open tournament? Do you know about that, and what do you think about that?
Jan?
Yeah, actually, I heard there is like a quite a strong open tournament. Yeah, and I think I checked. I checked the starting the list of players, but still I don't get your question. Yeah. No, not really.
What about you, Ding?
Well, actually, I didn't follow the tournament he played. So, which tournament did he play?
There is a side event of the match,
alongside
Kazakhstan Cup. That's the event, yes. Okay, it says a lot. Do we have more questions from the press? I don't see any more questions. Okay, please.
Здравствуйте, Ян. Осталось совсем немного партий, и как сегодня говорили, что сегодня будет быстрая ничья. В дальнейшей партии будете форсировать быстрые ничьи или нет?
A question to Jan. There are not too many games left, and today there was a forced draw. Do you intend to have any more forced draws in the upcoming games?
Спасибо за вопрос. Ну, черным я бы точно не отказался от быстрых ничьих. Вот, но сегодня у меня не было такой цели, как там, сделать быструю ничью, просто ну, так. Позиция не совсем правильно распорядился преимуществом, и получилось, что как бы там, все разменялось. В целом я просто стараюсь играть в шахматы.
Thank you for the question. With the black pieces, I definitely wouldn't say no to a forced draw. And today it wasn't my goal to have a quick game with a forced draw. I did not use my advantage in the game, and yeah, I do not intend to get forced draws when I play.
Thank you very much. Now it's time for Twitter segment, and Jesse will bring the questions from the audience, which are asking the questions on Twitter.
Thank you, Katie. My name is Jessie February. My first question is for Ding from Margaret. Could you discuss the general ideas after c4 and the possible imbalances since it took 13 minutes to play this move?
Well, with knight g5, the idea was take on e6 or play f4, then take on e6 and knight takes on f4. So with c4, first I cut his bishop, and yeah, that's basically the whole point behind c4.
Thank you. Next question, please.
The next question is from Amit, for both of you. If you were to propose challenges, or changes rather, to the World Chess Championship match format, what would you suggest? So if you were to change the format of the match, what would you suggest?
Jan, we will go first with you.
Yeah, good question. But for the moment, actually, I don't care.
What about you, Ding?
Well, now I think the tournament can be even longer.
You want to have more rounds?
Yeah, more rounds.
Okay.
Would they be classical rounds or other?
Classical rounds, yeah.
Thank you. Fair enough. Next question, please.
My last question is a little unrelated to the match for Nepo. Are you still following Dota? Do you make time for gaming these days?
Thank you for the question. Yeah, sometimes I follow, but I almost stopped playing, and surely, there is no free time here to play 1 or 2 games here. But yeah, when it's after the match, perhaps I'll play a bit, but yeah, for now it's not the best idea.
There was one more related to Dota. What is your MMR?
Before it was higher than now.
All right, thanks.
Thank you very much. I see that there is no more questions in the press. I don't have more questions as well. Tomorrow will be the rest day for the players. The match will resume on 26th of April. I wish the players to have a good rest day tomorrow. Thank you very much.
At that point was some mixed feelings because it's a big challenge for me. But now I can see I'm ready for this challenge. I'm confident about my preparation. Also, I think I grew up a little bit. I'm more mature, so I can handle the pressure. I didn't feel any nervous right now. As I remember, it was Topalov Anand match, which I was in my teenagers. Topalov's attacking play inspired me a lot. Because he had higher ratings, also my recent play in Waikanze was a disaster, so maybe that's why he's a favorite to this match. But I think we have equal chance. It's not a friend, but a good and friendly chess player. Well, he can play very fast and very strong if he's in very good shape. Also, he has the experience of the World Championship, but as I said, maybe he's a little bit emotional. Sometimes he played too fast, he forgot his preparation. Yeah, if he made mistakes, I will try to explore it.
Okay, we are witnessing an interesting match where both players are playing in well in better positions and much worse in worse positions. So that's why we see a lot of decisive games, and it attracts interest. But very hard to predict what will happen in the next games because tension grows. And okay, some things are unpredictable. So. And like any sport result, is really unpredictable. I don't know if it's trend or not, but okay, they're changing openings for each game, at least Ding Liren. Probably it's, I don't know if it's his style or it's like a necessity in our age to do it.